having it where you can adjust every small thing on your controller and in the game, it overcomplicates it too much. And it makes you overthink when you play the game. Yeah, we say it every year. This is an important year, but this really is because it's going to be 2 years in a row for the public view of the game that it's on a downward trajectory. The people who know that's not really the case when it comes to the game itself. This is a good game, the grand scheme of things, but we deserve more and it should be better. And if they don't deliver on that, it's going to be really, really tough because everybody knows that COD is in a tough state right now. And if you still can't deliver when you know the pressure's on, it's chucked.
Welcome everyone to episode 273 of the COD Casuals. We're your host, Justin.
And I'm Mike.
How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing good, bro. It's another beautiful day. We're into May. Also, I didn't shout it out, but happy belated birthday to the man here, my co-host. May 2nd. Remember the date. But no, dude, it's been good. I was just saying, crazy day at work as per usual. I will say, stemming off all this, which is the light that I'm looking towards, is we are coming to the end of the year here. I think I only have like 30 something days left, which is insane. This year has absolutely flown by, and I'm in I think this can be my 6th year coming up, making me feel old as hell, bro. Like, when I start thinking about this stuff now, I still feel, and I know you do too with your job, I feel like I'm still a rookie. Like I'm not that far into it. But then I had today, my principal was like, oh, yeah, and one of our veteran teachers, our more veteran teachers. I'm like, bro, what?
Yeah.
I was like, homie, I ain't no veteran. Ain't no chance, you know? But the people who are 20, 30 years, I'm like, that's veteran.
Yeah.
But for me being like 5 years now at one school, apparently then puts you to that, which is, I don't know. It's part of like saying we're going off your birthday. Like we were saying, both of us being 28, pushing 30. It's wild to think that time still marches on. And now that we're starting to be like solidified adults in the world, you know?
Yeah. I'm the youngest out of all of our friends too. So, I mean, a lot of us are turning 29 either this year or like the beginning of next year. So 30's coming. I just hit 28. So I'm chilling for a bit.
It's fresh.
Yeah, it's fresh. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, some people at work were like, oh, happy birthday. You're turning 27, right? I'm like, 28. And they're like, oh, okay, no, that you're still really young. Granted, all the people I work with, they have, in their 40s, mid 40s or whatever. But yeah, it is crazy because, I've been in my job for 6 years and I still feel fresh. And like the 20-year-olds coming straight out of college, I'm like, oh, I am like the, subject matter expert over here. This is crazy. Yeah. I shouldn't be.
Yeah, and we end up in this weird realm where like the young people who are being hired, they approach you because you're closer in age to them, but then they also don't talk to the people that are older than you because they're old to them, but you relate to those people more. It's a weird kind of, I don't mind it. I like the middle ground. They still think I'm young, but to think that, been in the position for a while and that 30's coming. And to me, that's when I'm officially like, I'm on the track to being old. That's gonna be a tough pill to swallow when 29 expires.
Yeah. It's funny so the group that like I work with, all those people, I've known them since senior year of college, like going into senior year. So junior year, that summer, which was 2019. So I was like freshly 21, essentially. So I've known them all these years. And they've always said, Justin's an old soul, which I kind of am. I listen to them because they're older and wise to an extent. And it's just funny seeing the younger people coming straight out of college and the ones that do listen to life experiences, and then the other ones that are like, yeah, you're old.
Yeah, like, they're not ready for those talks.
Yeah. I've always been like that, in my early 20s. But it's just really funny because when I talk to them about, I don't know, life as you get older. Like, dude, you're old. Like, all right, well, just wait till you're 25. But that's what old people would say. So,
Yeah, right. So wait till you're my age and you start
yeah.
thinking about this. Yeah. Yeah, I think that there is a point where like conversation in some friend groups and people listening maybe feel this way or hopefully they do because I think it's a good thing is where those conversations with your friend group start to turn a bit more serious and they're
Mhm.
not just always like screwing around, joking, talking random bullshit. There is a point where like when you and me and the rest of our high school friends get together, it's usually like catching up on life stuff or talking about goals or aspirations, not on like the really corny level of stuff, but
Mhm.
just actual important things that we want to talk about, because we don't see each other as much as we used to, which
Yeah.
is again part of the reality of just getting older. When you see your friends, I'm like, dang, I ain't seen you in like a couple of years now. You
Yeah.
know, we all move away or we just get busy with life. Um, so all those things too definitely make me feel like, yeah, that 30 is only 2 years away because I already have the tendencies of someone who is labeled as old.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, it's coming for us. We're getting there. It's weird.
It is. I'd say too, shifting to something that I saw just an hour ago, it came out. Talk about feeling old, but damn it, Justin, I'm glad this is happening. It's Call of Duty. Did you see this? They announced this new COD MW4 and ain't coming out on PS4 and the Xbox One. It's done.
Oh, it's official? They're not
Over.
okay.
It's over. Justin did get this. Give me your instant reaction. Thank
Yeah.
God.
Well, I one that's it's good because dude, these games can't run on those consoles.
No.
They can barely run on the PS5 at times. But I mean, finally, right? I mean, the PS4 and the Xbox One, you gotta retire them, put them to
Mhm.
rest. But it's also crazy because I remember when the PS4 came out, and now it's scrap.
Yeah, they posted so I was just seeing it with one of the pages here that I follow on Twitter. The most I think it's the latest COD that came out on PS4 from what they have is Ghost, which is
Go, that is
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, the era is from this photo. It's Ghost, AW, BO3, IW, World War II, Black Ops 4, MW 2019, Cold War, Vanguard, MW3, MW2, MW3, Black Ops 6, and then Black Ops 7. That is insane. 13
Mhm.
titles have been put out on the PS4, but it comes to an end with this one.
'Cause I
Thank God,
remember
though.
I remember getting Advanced Warfare for the PS3. That was
Yeah,
the
same.
transition, and it was awful on the PS3.
Mhm.
PS4 was, like, the console.
Yeah, I haven't gone back and looked at any of those games. Well, even just in general, I don't think I really ever played any of those early CODs on the PS3 because I moved to the PS4 pretty quickly. I was fortunate enough I could, and when I would see people talk about even like some of the older ones when they went from 4 to 5, there was a big difference. But I really haven't even seen that in the last couple of years. I don't think I've seen gameplay of Black Ops 7 on the PS4. And
Yeah.
I don't know if I really want to. Like
Mhm.
there's no way, bro, that there's still a massive community of people playing Call of Duty on the PS4 or the Xbox One. There's just no way that
Yeah.
there's that many people because I had to check it, dude. The PS4 came out in 2013. Like
Yeah.
that's
I mean,
13-year-old hardware.
there's no way. I mean, well, one, people have moved off of Call of Duty anyways, but I swear most people that play COD, they're on PC now. Where in the Stone Age still being on console.
Right.
But I mean, if you're playing Black Ops 7 on the PS4, you're probably getting fried because trying to handle that movement on a console that old, I mean, you're probably playing on like 30 like frames per second or 30 hertz or 60 hertz because PS5 we can play up to 120, which it's good. I wish it was faster. I wish it was up to 240 hertz, but Man, I think the PS4 can only go up to 60,
Yeah.
which it would be awful on this game. The amount of, lag we would feel in the game would be so bad.
Yeah, and I can only imagine too with these developers, and I watched a video on it, which was it was great. It was really just talking about this, how there were some of these games that were kinda caught in the middle, or they maybe just extended their, they wanted to get a bit more people playing the game, so they would go and put it out the game on the old console. Like, I think it was one of the Far Cries that they ended up covering. I think it was Far Cry, is it 4? Is that the
4.
one with that got Pagan Min?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is that him? Is it 3 or 4?
I'm pretty sure it's 4 because 3 is what's his name?
Voss.
Voss. Yeah, yeah.
It's one of those Far Cries they'd put out, and the difference in the game was staggering. It was so bad, and the guy was alluding to the fact that there's no way they put this out with, like, really much thought at all. They had to have just kinda BS put this together and been like, "Okay, yeah, it is, like, some semblance of the game that you can play on the old hardware." But it would also be something that would kind of encourage you to realize, "Okay, these games that I'm playing and I'm excited for, the developers don't really want me to experience it this way." So, I would hope that it would kick some of these people into gear to start trying to buy the new hardware. And I can get it for the first couple of years, maybe even 5 years of the console being out, but 13 years, and we're
Mhm.
still having Call of Duty put out on that. Again, if you're playing Call of Duty on a PS4 in 2026, you are you're a
You're getting
super fan through and
fried.
through. Yeah. Yeah, you're getting fried, and
Yeah,
you're just doing it for the love of the game. Like, you just love COD so much, you're like, "I
yeah,
can't miss it no matter what."
yeah. Or it's the people that, you know, they they're, like, slowly outgrowing gaming, and they're not committed enough to buy the next console, so
Right.
they're just sitting on the older gen, and they play, Madden, whatever, and that's really it. But that's how I see the PS4 and, like, PS3 even. I mean, I know people that still have it, and they just have it for NBA, like 2K, Madden. That's really it. But man, I can't imagine playing on a PS4 right now.
Yeah,
And
and
even with
playing
the
an online
PS5.
game.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like the PS5's getting old too. I mean, it really questions, we've talked about it before. When do we switch over to PC? But also, holy shit, PCs are so expensive right now because of, we'll get into it, politics. But like PCs are insanely expensive now. Um, so when do we make the jump and or do we get the PS6 whenever that comes out? Because the rumor is that the Xbox is going to come out next year, and I'm assuming Sony's going to announce their new console around the same time. Um, yeah, it's interesting because then what you have the PS2, right? You have that console.
Yep.
You have the 2, 3, 4, and 5. And
Mhm.
then if we get the 6, like I'm gonna have the 3, 4, 5. That's gonna go somewhere. Like I gotta find room for this stuff. And
Mhm.
then the 6 for, how many games. And I feel like I gotta upgrade a lot of my hardware just to support it.
Right, right. Yeah, and those old consoles too, as time goes on, and again, we've been gaming since those early days of PS2 and 3 or for like the original Xbox and you had it. Um, but as you move on through the years, like at least for me, like I said, I have my 2 and my 3 in my living room. My 4, it's under my bed. I know it's there because the 5 is nice since I can play everything on the 4 on the 5, you know?
Mhm. It's not
But the
old enough yet to where it's a
Right.
classic.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly, and there's not really any games that are I mean, I'm sure there's some, but there's not really many that are locked away on that console, Whereas the 2 and the 3, there definitely are. But those consoles, I play them from, on an occasion, and I just play single player, and that's kinda how the deal is, you know? If you were someone, God forbid, that'd be insane. If you're in the 2020 and beyond, and you were maining a PS3, me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
There's no
bro,
way. No
yeah,
way.
Like, I'm sorry that I mean, and if you are, I feel bad because that's just such a shit experience. You know, the games that are out now and being able to experience them at their full capacity, um, you know, it's just you're really doing yourself a disservice. And you're doing the game too. Like you may hate a certain game, be like, "Oh, dude, this game's terrible because it just runs like trash." Well, yeah, of course. You know, pretty much every game that you play from this point on old hardware is gonna be like that, you know? And I'm
Mhm.
sure too, like what you were saying earlier, people would say that about us, being like, "Dude, you guys don't even realize that being on the 5, the
Mhm.
games that are coming out now, you're really getting just a glimpse of what they really could be like." And I've said that with getting the 5 Pro. I've thought about selling my 5 here and getting the Pro, trading it for it because when I get GTA 6, I wanna experience that
Mhm.
game the best way that I possibly can, and I don't wanna buy a PC. So, I'm like,
Mhm.
that's my next move that I possibly could because I know if I play it on the 5, just baseline, you know, the people at Rockstar be like, "It's good, like, it's gonna be
Mhm.
good for the console, but if you really wanted to experience it, playing it on the Pro is gonna be the best way," you know? And I don't like being at a disadvantage with my hardware, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and that's just a reality of being on console. There's gonna be a point where we're literally we're just forced to get PCs. I mean, I guess you can go back and say that with people on a PS3 right now. Could you imagine? They don't even know what a PS4 is like. So if they bought a PS4, they're thinking, this is so quick. This is insane.
Yeah.
I know for a fact if we switch to PC, it would be night and day for us. But again, getting a PC that also requires updating your monitors too, so you can get the full experience. And I mean, I guess you can say that about like anything about the PS5 too. I mean, my monitors are older; they're 1080p monitors, so they're not even the highest quality. But some of these games look so nice that even at 1080p, they look fantastic. But imagine if I was on a 4K monitor,
Yeah.
it would be a movie.
Legit. Yeah, and that's kind of the level of games that I think are gonna be coming out, you know? I mean, they already are. They're already
Mhm.
at movie level, quality, but if Xbox goes through and does that and they put out their new console next year, um, yeah, that will force Sony to go and do the same thing. I mean, they're
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
have
sure.
to because everyone's gonna be and everyone's already excited about Xbox. Well, everyone, but a lot of people are more excited about Xbox right now because they've just made a big jump and they've, you know, they're changing a lot of things around. They got new leadership, etc. Um, so they know that it's crunch time and they've got to act. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
but
I,
yeah, I don't know.
I
I want to make sure that when that game comes out, whether it's COD or any other game, I want to be on the best stuff.
yeah, yeah. I mean, this is the part that's hard for me. That I like tech a lot, so but I hold on to my tech for a while. So then when I upgrade, it's a huge upgrade. Um, but I like gaming and having the full experience. 4K monitors, uh, best speeds, the best efficiency for all this stuff. But when you play Call of Duty, you don't need any of that on multiplayer. Ideally, it's actually worse. You don't want a lot of graphics.
Mhm.
You just want it to run as smoothly as possible. Don't really care too much about, you know, how good it looks in multiplayer. I just need to be able to fry and have what is it? The refresh rate as low as
Mhm.
possible. But the best monitors for that are like cheap monitors, not like 4K, with a bit
Right.
of lag. So I've like thought about it. I'm like, am I getting to that point now where I really care just about the storyline and how it looks? And, you know, even when I'm playing competitively, it's all right if there's a slight delay,
Yeah.
but I'm not
No,
because when I play competitively, if I die, I'm blaming the delay.
right, and I would say too, like, honestly, I don't think sorry, I'm getting spammed here. I don't think that I've ever been really costed from my hardware, like, on the PS5 now and when playing
Mhm,
Call of Duty on it. I mean, maybe, and I just don't know, but there was definitely a point when I was on the 4 and the 5 was out that, yeah, I could tell there was a massive difference here, and there was an edge to having the new tech. But I think it's really just for Call of Duty that
it
I don't
applies
have to
to.
worry about. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
kinda just get by and you'll be fine. I was playing last night, or sorry, last night was it, was during the day, and sometimes I deal with lag, but when I was playing, my ping was really low. I had basically no lag. I was absolutely piecing. I was like, yeah, this is fine. You see the people that you're playing against, and a whole bunch of them are PC people, master
Mhm.
prestiges, and I'm still always baffled. I'm like, bro, how do you suck? How are
Yeah.
you 480? How are you 480 and I'm frying you, bro? Like, and these people again are probably on, they got towers, they got the whole bit that they're loaded in on. But when it comes to COD, it really doesn't make that much of a difference. Like if you're a good controller player, like you just maybe have a scuff and you can use that, or just a good player, period,
Mhm.
you'll find a way around it.
Oh,
You
yeah,
don't
yeah.
need the best tech.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's just when you look at the specs that and you get wrapped up into the specs, it's hard to get away with that,
Yeah.
or away from that. I mean, a 1080p monitor is great for COD. I don't care what people say. I mean, my refresh rate it's like 240 hertz. That's even more than the PS5 can even do.
Hmm.
Quality is not the best, especially for other games, but yeah, I don't know. Perfect world, I would have a whole separate setup literally just for like Call of Duty, and then I have a whole separate setup for all my like literally every other game.
Yeah. You'd have, like, a PS5 in the living room on the huge TV, and then you'd have a PS5, or you have a PC just for your multiplayer games.
Yeah, that's it.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. No, that would be an ideal setup. Even when I play my PS3 games and 2, when I have, like, the remaster on my TV in my living room, man, those games look way better than they
Yeah.
ever did when I was playing them as a kid. I'm like, "Damn."
Mhm.
You know? But again, when I play MW3 on a big TV, which again, dude, I don't know how side note, I don't know how we did that. I don't know how we would play multiplayer games on like the huge living room TVs. I just cannot do that anymore. It
Mhm.
has to be a monitor. Like it's so much harder. But when I look at those games playing MW3, the original on PS3 on that TV, yeah, it definitely looks better, but it's really
You
not that
sat
big, you
yeah.
know. Like it doesn't matter that much on how I play.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying, like, would you rather play it on a monitor where you know it's faster, or if you only had one setup, would
Yeah.
you want all your games on a a big TV and then you're playing COD competitively on a bit flat screen too, or just everything all on a smaller monitor?
No, bro, I will always take, performance over
Yeah,
fidelity. Like, every
yeah.
game that I play, whenever they give the option as to, like, "Oh, do you wanna have it run at 30 but look better, or play it
Mhm.
at 60, but the graphics aren't as good?" I'm like, "Bro, give me the smoothness." I will
Yeah,
take that every day. Like, to me, graphics, when it comes to especially multiplayer, I could care less. Like, we
yeah,
could be talking straight Minecraft level, but if that thing runs buttery smooth and I could still see what I'm doing,
yeah,
I'm fine.
yeah, exactly. That I have a problem with that, and two, the because I've been thinking about upgrading my monitor, just one of them, but so my monitors are 25-inch. Like, do I go up to a 27? Which I think that's fine. I've seen a 27-inch. It's not that much of a difference. But then, I fall into this vortex of, but I can go 32 and it's like 4K and like I'll be good for a good amount of years.
Yeah.
And then when I'm playing Subnautica 2 when that comes out, or Uncharted 5 when that comes out on a screen like that, oh, it's gonna be great. But
Yeah.
COD. But when I'm
Eh,
playing COD, I gotta move my head a tiny bit compared to now. Like I don't need to move my head. I just look to the corner.
and too, if you get that new setup, or if you bought that monitor and you get cooked first game,
Yeah.
you're blaming that monitor. You're like,
Yeah.
"Dude, I knew it." You're
Yeah.
like You're like,
Yeah.
"Bro, I gotta move my head like
It's
1 millimeter."
it's little stuff like that. That's why I hate the amount of settings we have in COD because, "Oh, my dead zone's off by 0.01." It's that. I gotta change my dead zone. My sense is off by, point 0.1.
Yeah, talking about that, man, that's something that, along with them abandoning, the old generation of consoles, which is a good thing, they need to go and abandon all these insane micro tunings that you can do, in your game. I think COD, when they went in NW 2019, when they did the whole gunsmith, which was a great idea at first, except it did get, to me, it's too crazy. They went that next step too with the realism and being like, okay, if you want to go and fine tune this game on the most insane level compared to what you've ever been able to do on other Call of Duties, like now's the time to do it. And there's people out there who I'm sure really like that, but there needs to be a happy middle ground. When I go and play those old CODs and they just have the sense being like low, medium, high,
Mhm.
or they just have these, arbitrary numbers in there, just 1 through 10, and like 10 says insane and seven's very high. There's something I like about that. And you can, kind of find your own spot in there when it comes to sense, but some of these games, they don't really even include much beyond that, you know? I was saying to I can't remember who it was, but I bought, what was it? The SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. Bought this on
Mhm.
the PS2, the rollback. This game now, they go too far. Their settings, there ain't jack shit. There's
Yeah, yeah.
there's like the only thing you can do is just adjust the volume. That's it.
Mhm.
And I think it only has it on there as on or off. It's not
Yeah.
even like how loud you want it. That's like when people say bare bones, I'm like, that's too bare bones.
Mhm.
But having it where you can adjust every small thing on your controller and in the game, it overcomplicates it too much, and it makes you overthink when you play the game.
Yeah. Games back then, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's true. They're objectively harder than games now
Yeah.
because I don't think devs were really thinking about, oh, we have to help all these players. They just created, the game without all these baby steps, and you just had to figure it out.
Yeah. They most of the time didn't even include, like, tutorials or stuff like that where they would actually explain stuff.
Mhm.
Now a lot of games just hold your hand through most of it, you know? But like when it comes back to those settings like that, I think it just overcomplicates the game and it makes it to like we're saying where you hyper fixate about your hardware, you could also just fixate on the actual in-game stuff too.
Mhm.
And for me, that would just rip the enjoyment out of it. I'd be way too focused on all that stuff and thinking like, "Oh, I gotta go and adjust X, Y, and Z, and okay, well, let me go and spend 40 minutes trying to figure that out." Where before it'd be just kind of plug and play, and you didn't really have to worry about it. And now it's the
Mhm.
same with all the tech that we have too. Like, do I upgrade this to 27? Do I do 32? Do I do it?
Yeah.
It's a little crazy.
Oh yeah, I do. I mean, the beginning of this game, it took me a while to figure out what sense I actually liked, and I would just go back and forth between games, moving it up and down like one,
Right.
which and it's all placebo too. It's how I feel that day. You know what I mean? The next day, I move it down one. I'm like, no, this is the right sense. I just moved it down point one,
Yeah.
and then next game I get cooked, so I stop playing. Next day, I move it up point one. I'm like, oh no, this is good. This is a sense I need.
And it's surprising because you wouldn't think that you'd have to adjust it that much because the CODs that we play now, they're more or less the same thing from year to
Mhm.
year. Thinking back when you would go from World at War to what was it, MW2, I think is what came after that, or
Mhm.
sometime around then. But going like just for example of those two CODs, they couldn't play more different than one
Yeah.
another. So you would probably do a little bit of adjusting, but even still not that much. But these games, yeah, it's like they all kind of play the same, like down at their core. So you wouldn't think that you need to adjust that stuff all the time. But I
Mhm.
do the same. I still find myself tweaking small things bit by bit, but I think it is placebo. It's just my mind screwing with me. Like I
Yeah.
really don't need to.
Yeah, I think it's placebo. I mean, But back in the day when I first played COD, I played on 3, just 3 cents frying, and
Mhm.
then I moved all the way up to 8, and that was MW3, and I played on that for a while, and then I slowly like went down every game. And in like the recent CODs, I would be hovering around like 5.5,
Mhm.
and then Black Ops 6, I had to bump that down to 4. I'm like, am I getting old? Every new COD, I'm always like, shots a little off.
Yeah.
Am I getting slower? Is my reaction time getting a lot slower? Do I have to move it down more? And then this COD, I'm pretty sure I'm still around like 4. I'm around there or something like that. But it works for me.
Yeah, I notice when I play this game, and maybe it's just me getting more particular with it, but I've been running the NPC a ton just because people in ranked are using it from what I'm hearing, from
Hmm.
ranked being a disaster, which is upsetting.
Hmm.
The cheaters have once again gotten it. But even from CDL, everyone's using the NPC. It's like the new meta. I had a class for this a while back, but using that gun when I'm flying around with it, I fear that I got to go and up my sense a little bit. I feel I'm a
Hmm.
little too slow if I play because I think usually I'm on like 4-4 somewhere around there. I think 4-4-5-4.
Hmm.
Um, but I have to tweak it a little bit when using that gun because I like the play style that I have with it. I'm just
Yeah, you're
flying
in
around too
there.
much, and I'd get costed a bunch. If I'm trying to like turn on somebody, sometimes I feel like I'm a bit
Yeah,
stuck when
yeah.
I'm trying to do it. You know?
Yeah. I like, see, that's the thing. It's just, there's so many different situations where having too much customization is bad. So one of the cases, I just want to just let me spawn into the game with, a slider. Don't get me wrong. There have been a lot of settings that I do like. The FOV slider, I like that a lot.
Oh
It
yeah.
makes me feel like I'm playing on a bigger screen, but I'm not. So I can just see more. Um, the dead zones, as annoying as those are, it's good for stick drift. So you don't need to keep going buying more scuffs, more controllers that can like
Mhm.
temporarily fix it. Um, and then I guess the customization of the movements, like being able to slide or dive or like half press, things like that.
Yeah, there's been some good innovations, for sure with the settings, and I think part of it too is with the movement for the past couple of games that they've had to, tailor for certain people because there's a whole bunch that people would nitpick about it and try to maximize the movement out of it with like minimal button inputs. Um, but that's where you then have to go and be mindful of looking up a video on YouTube and finding out like the best settings or things that you absolutely should have selected on or off.
Hmm.
And it ends up being a long list. Like when I go through any of these and I try to copy some of the settings, if there are things that are important to have on or off, dude, you have to pause and make absolutely sure you're in the right section. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, you're gonna go down to here, then pull up this, then the sub menu comes out, and then this drop down bar. I'm like, bro, it's like 90 things that I have to go through. You know,
Hmm.
it's the same thing when trying to go and customize a gun. If I want to copy someone's build that I see online and I'm having to like scroll through these barrels, it's like Jesus Christ, Thank God they don't have the old Warzone kind of idea where they had like, two CODs worth of stuff for attachments
Hmm.
and guns, but it still feels like it's a lot to have to sift through.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, now they have the copy feature, which took them way too long to add. But
Mhm.
I'll do that like a decent amount. I'll pick up someone's weapon and just copy it. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, nah, this weapon's actually garbage. You're just really good with it. I Some of the classes I pick up and I copy it and then I go to use it. It's just bad. I don't know how people use it.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of, when I've run into pubs, there's so many people using LMGs I come
Mhm.
across. It's insane because these things are just like you hold down, they have basically no recoil, and
Oh
they're just
yeah, yeah,
ironed up
yeah.
on some heady spamming this nonsense,
Mhm.
you know? And yeah, you go to use it, I pick it up, I can't really do anything with it because I'm like, bro, I'm not going to be playing like that. Absolutely not, you know. But no, that is a great feature that they added. I agree. That is for sure one of the best things that they've added, and it doesn't seem like it was really all that difficult to do. I think
Mhm.
they may have even had that back in the day. Didn't they have something called Copycat or some like
It was like a perk or something,
yeah, it was I could have
or
sworn it was something like that back in like MW2 or MW3 era where when you were in the kill cam, you could just go and copy their class, but it was only for a life,
yeah, for a
you
life.
know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Like, man, that what a good idea back then, but it took us over a decade to get back to it,
To copy the whole
you know?
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
no one had thought of that yet. They're like, "Dude, why don't you
Yeah.
just take the whole class altogether?"
Yeah. I mean,
But
I
no,
guess what we'll see in MW4 what features because look, I'm just assuming they're gonna add more features at this point in Call of
yeah,
Duty.
I think so.
Um, we haven't really heard too many rumors about MW4, or at least like any new ones, at least. But it's just funny seeing the divide so far about you know Call of Duties and if this COD is going to be the one that saves the entire franchise. Uh, we'll see. I mean, it's not Treyarch again. Enjoy the good times right now
Yeah.
because I don't care what people say. Black Ops 7 is a great game. Again, I'm gonna say it every episode. Great game.
You're like the T-Dog of Black Ops 7 over here. It's like
Yeah,
Call of Duty is
dude.
back. It's
That,
like Black
that
Ops 7 is one of the best that we've had in recent years.
yeah. I don't care about the numbers, but yeah, I mean he vouches for MW19. I can't agree
Yeah.
at all, but I respect Tyler, so but it doesn't mean I have to agree with him.
Yeah. Now, I don't know what we're gonna expect with the next COD. I mean, this was definitely a big announcement that they're moving away from that. Just because I don't maybe it could be just because I'm naive to it, but I would only assume that resources and time and energy are being taken away from the main game and put onto that, or there's people that are focused on making the game or porting it to the old console that maybe they could have some use or have or be better used for trying to actually make the game, report the game to the actual console that's out right now for
Mhm,
PS5. Um, so I think it's a good move. I think it's a move that just gaming in general, for the most part, has done. You don't really see a ton of games being developed for PS4 anymore, and rightfully so. So it's good to see that Call of Duty has cut the cord with that. They obviously must have stuck with it because there was a huge financial gain. Um, so I'm hoping that well, one, that whole generation of people who are only sticking to PS4, hopefully that's down to the point where they don't really care about it. And I hope they don't leave those people in the dust. Those people maybe just wake up and get a
mhm,
PS5, find some way to Facebook Marketplace, you know? But with that those resources taken away from it, they maybe turn that somehow into having it be a better game this year all around. Uh, yeah, we say it every year. This is an important year, but this really is because it's going to be 2 years in a row for, the public view of the game that it's on a downward trajectory. The people who know, like you and me, and hopefully people listening know that that's not really the case, when it comes to the game itself. This is a good game, in, the grand scheme of things. But we deserve more and it should be better. And if they don't deliver on that, it's going to be really, really tough because everybody knows that COD is in a tough state right now. And if you still can't
mhm.
deliver when you know the pressure's on, it's chucked.
Yeah, it's getting scary in terms of where COD is at because obviously we know that it's been trending downhill. I mean, you could go all the way back to like the jetpacks even, but I think COD had a big resurgence in MW19 because of COVID and Warzone, but COD has just evolved a lot. But I think this year is very, very important. It's the first COD coming back from or going back to the original cycle. It's not going to do back to back years, which I still don't understand why they even did that in the first place. I mean, remember when it went from MW2 to MW3 and we were like, imagine we have to play MW2 again. And we did, just the version that it should have been.
Right.
And then BO6 to BO7, same exact thing. Um, but I do agree, at least with the devs, that it's definitely a lot harder now to keep, players on their game. They just have to innovate, and you know, they have to create a reason why for all of us to stay on the game for a long period of time. And I'm not saying that's easy. I don't even know what the answer is besides you have to make a good game, and stop with the stupid battle passes, the stupid oh yeah, we're gonna update this, 3 months later to get people back. If you make a really good game, people will just be there. And with MW4, it's supposed to be in Korea, I believe. Maybe this is a restart like COD needs. It's like completely new characters and different setting.
Yeah, a reset, is always a good way for the next page to be turned, and hopefully people kind of get the bad taste out of their mouth that they've had for the past couple of years with COD. I was going to ask you though, do you think that they need to, and by they I mean Infinity Ward, do you think they really need to innovate with this COD with MW4, or do you think that if they just keep it baseline, keep it simple, that that's what people are really going to be excited for?
I mean, I think if they keep it simple in terms of like no tax sprint, like just keep the movement of what COD was. Like go back to what COD really is. It's boots on the ground, no tax sprint, and make it, a quick game. I agree that BO7 is a very fast game, and a lot of people don't like that. I enjoy it, but some people don't like that. Um, don't add wall jumps. I'm fine with that too, but I think it's important to keep that the quick movement at least, but also you need to have fun weapons. You need to have really really good maps. Um, you need a good campaign. You just need a lot of Infinity Ward needs to come out with a banger of a beta or an alpha when they launch because COD for the past 2 years at least for BO6 and BO7 has been pretty similar. Um, MW4 has a chance to shake it up a bit, but they definitely, if they go back and attack sprint again, I don't know what they're doing. Like,
Yeah.
why would you ever do that?
Yeah, I think that's that would be like an unforgivable sin in my book, going
Mhm.
back on that, because we took so long to get out of that and we finally feel like we have moved away from that era, and I think that needs to just stay in the past.
This could be
Um
the start of a new era of COD.
yeah, and for them, for Infinity Ward. I mean, this could be, like you said, a great reset for them to try to make something that is fresh and new, and um you know it doesn't really try to be anything bigger than it is, you know? Um, I think when I see some of the characters getting reused, like, that stuff just, again, always scares me because I understand that, yeah, they wanna have those people there to cash in, which, bro, first off, who gets excited about seeing these guys? Like, I don't, when I see Ghost, I'm not like, "Oh my god, it's
We've seen
Ghost,"
Ghosts
It's like,
so many times at this
or
point.
like
Yeah.
Price, or oh my god, it's like, just one of these cringy reactions to the I just don't care about that at all. All I care about is, okay, what are you really doing with the multiplayer in the game? Like, are you making something unique and interesting here? Or is it really just like MW2 to 3 where we're throwing a new coat of paint on and we're going to charge
Mhm.
$70? I think if they do something like that, where they just take MW3 or MW 2019 and slightly change it, um, but really not that much. I think people will revolt on that
Mhm.
idea, just being like, here we go again. That we're off the cliff here. We need you
Mhm.
to save us, and all you do is you do still the bare minimum to make a good game for us.
Yeah.
People will see right through that.
Yeah, and we're at the point too where these characters that they bring back, like they already won us over, those characters, you know what I mean? Like we bought them already.
Yeah.
Where we already like those characters, you don't need to bring them back again. This relates to, I was texting you like over the weekend about a possible Uncharted 5 coming out, which, side note, I'm going to buy the game regardless. Love Uncharted. Uh, but the difference is Naughty Dog's a studio that will show homage and respect to their characters. I was a little bit surprised about Uncharted 5, but I'm assuming the way they would go about it is not with Drake. His life and that season of him ended in 4. I'm assuming in Uncharted 5 it's going to be a different angle of other characters, which that I can understand. MW3 brought in the same characters and then changed the storyline.
Mhm.
Like, where are you honoring these characters that all of us, like, we bought into them over a decade ago?
Yeah, you get tired of them, and you also too kinda, like, disgrace them in a way,
Yeah.
because you're really just dragging their name through the mud. Um, and to be selling a Call of Duty, in my view, I don't care about any of that stuff at all because it's just really superficial nonsense that isn't gonna have any impact on the game? If you have good characters, regardless if they're Ghost, so or it's like, someone totally new, like when they had Adler, when Treyarch added him in. I mean, that was a great addition. Just to like, and that shows that you can do that if you put your brain together and think of someone as like an interesting character and give him a story and a background and a story arc or a character arc. Then you're off to the races. You don't need to reuse these people. No one really cares if it was 3 or 4 people who could be great characters for we're talking about a campaign, but they they're, like, totally new, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
We don't know who they are, but they have a great story and it all works out. That would be, again, a refresh for them. For me, with the multiplayer, I think it's kind of on the opposite end. A lot of things that have been good in Call of Duty and are always there, just keep them. You know,
Mhm.
you don't need to go crazy trying to do like what Treyarch did, really taking a risk doing the Omni movement, which was, in my opinion, a massive W. Um, but I think if they just deliver on a baseline, good COD, and again, focus on the movement, the maps, and for the rank play, side of it, the hacking situation, don't know how here we are in the big 2-6 and people are still hacking the shit out of these games.
Yeah.
But that's one of the 3 that they gotta figure out? And I think if you get all 3 of those, and throw weapons in there too, like, weapon variety. If you get all of those things, like, in the green, they're good, you're already in, like, the top 10 for CODs if you can
Mhm.
do all those because in the history of COD, there have not been that many that have really nailed all 4 of those. Has good
Yeah.
maps, good movement, good campaign, good weapon play, hackers for 5, but
Mhm.
minus rank play stuff. Like, there's very few CODs that really hit all of those things perfectly.
Yeah, and I mean, if they have to sacrifice the campaign, so be it. That's what they did in BO4. I know people are
Mhm.
upset, but that was a great multiplayer. Don't care what people say. That, you know, they
Wrong.
they can do that. Scrap the campaign completely. I mean, okay, if you asked me about Vanguard's campaign, I couldn't tell you the name of any of those characters that I played. Nor do I care, to be honest.
Mm-mm.
I didn't have a connection with any of those characters. Just played through the campaign as is, and they just focus on multiplayer. That's what they need to do with this COD. Um, and I know they can do it. You know, COD is COD at the end of the day, but I really think they're just overthinking a lot of this, and they're trying to be a game that they're not. Just be Call of Duty. Yeah, this franchise is already so big. People are gonna buy the game as is, but you can't let that you can't let your game just be a copy of another game. You can't just start replicating, you know, Battlefield. You can't replicate Rainbow Six. Like, get back to what you were.
Yeah, and, going back on some of those older CODs, there's still a lot that they can take from those, but still create a relatively fresh idea from it.
Mhm.
But we'll have to wait and see what they end up coming up with. We haven't gotten, like you said, any real leaks or anything relating to the game. I saw something on the timeline like that there was a potential leak of the M4 being in there, which it's like,
Again? Like, yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
saw
I
that too.
mean,
Like, again, another M4. It's probably gonna be we unlock it first. We don't need to unlock it. It's gonna be the best fucking AR in the game, and that's
yeah.
gonna be the meta.
Right. Yeah, day 1, it's already in. I
It
just see
happens
that, I'm
soon, yeah.
like, "Okay, like, are people supposed to be surprised that the M4 is gonna be in a
Mhm,
Modern Warfare title, or an Infinity War title?" Like, no, not at all, so,
mhm.
very small when it's come to, any leaks or releases from it, but, again, we're in May. This game is gonna come out sometime around October, November, um so I'm hoping that we get some more concrete ideas as to what this game is going to look like, other than just the setting and it
Yeah, yeah.
being a relatively modern shooter, or slightly futuristic. Um, but there's a lot riding on this one, man.
Yeah,
You know,
there's a lot riding on this one. I mean, you know, we say it every year, and I think a lot of other people say it too, but this COD is very, very important this year, especially with, you know, the sales for Black Ops 7. If you just look at that, MW4 is going to be really important. And I mean, shifting off of MW4 talk, because I'm sure we're going to hear news in the next like month or two because people are already dropping off BO7 anyways. But
mhm.
sticking up BO7 in terms of competitive, a lot of stuff has happened after the minor. We went back to qualifiers and league matches, which was kind of a downer, to be honest, because, we're watching a tournament and now we're just going to these random matches again.
Yeah,
Um, I'll start off with Breach. Dude, these guys, like, the Breach stock, I'm just holding on to Breach stock at this point because I'm a big fan. Like, got to support the boys in green, but like the value is lost. I'm down with Breach, and they played the Gentlemates. They went up 2-0. Crazy. I couldn't believe it, and I was like, okay. To be honest, I didn't think they were going to get walked over by Gentlemates because Gentlemates they've been looking iffy, but Breach went up 2-0. They looked pretty good. And the fact that I still like in the back of my head, I'm like, I don't know. You can't count out Gentlemates when Breach are up 2-0, and then they just get reverse sweep. And I was like, I got nothing else to say to that. Like whoa, what do you say to that?
you can't say anything. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
you know, I have my breach shirt up there.
yeah,
I mean, I I
eh,
look to it, I cling to it. I'm like,
yeah. I
please.
got Breach like old rosters up there. I see Snoopy twice up there. I'm like,
Dude,
the
the one that
child.
I've got here, I've got the watch party one that has Beans, Kremp, Wake, and Snoop, and then I have the other one that has Slasher, Priesta, Cap, and Snoop. And I'm just like,
Ah,
yeah, they're all gone. Every last one of them. Yeah, it's I mean, what can you say, What can you say about the breach? It's really sad. It's really sad to see
yeah.
where they've gone as a not just as a COD team, but as like an org too,
Mhm.
you know? They've really changed a lot, and I don't know, when I see the lack of roster moves that they make to really try to make something happen, it's discouraging.
Yeah, dude, that camp is compromised.
A
There's
thousand.
no there's no way those guys I'm sure they're trying to an extent, but they must go into practice like low key hating each other and having zero confidence. And man, you let Stoopy go, and he's the best player in challengers right now, and he's on a team that's winning everything. And guess what? They're gonna qualify for the pro am. They're gonna come in. I know for a fact somehow they're gonna match up against Breach. They're gonna beat Breach, and we're like, we let this guy walk. We let him walk for free.
Yeah.
You keep again, no offense to Purge. Great. I'm sure he's a great guy, but his confidence is at an all-time low at this point. I mean, all those guys are, right? I mean, I think if you watch COD, you would have kept Snoopy over Purge, no
Oh,
matter
yeah.
what.
No doubt.
And they didn't. I just can't believe that they didn't somehow. And now they're just getting cooked still, you know?
Yeah, it is really sad. I mean, they played Optic too,
That
which
was
everyone
yeah,
knew that, like,
yeah. They
I
took a
I'll be real.
map.
I watched it after the fact. I didn't watch it during it because I knew I was like, "Boston's gonna lose this.
Mhm.
There's no chance." And then I saw 3-1. I was like, "Okay." They took
They
a
took a
map,
map. Yeah.
a map, which goes to show too that a lot of these teams and play like they're not all individually bad players.
Mhm.
It's just the systems and the way that they play together as a team can be just so brain dead and
Yeah.
make. And I'm not gonna be over here breaking them down like on plays that they make and stuff, but that's really the difference with all these guys. Of course, it's just teamwork.
Yeah.
And Boston has absolutely none of that right now. Yeah, they're compromised beyond belief. That's why I'm still amazed that even after the purge drop, they still haven't made another move, which
Snoopy
they
drop.
oh, sorry, Snoopy drop, yeah. Well, it should
Should
have
have
been.
been Purge.
Like, they
And then they changed the meta, and now he looks like a god.
yeah, they just they make these moves and things are still not looking good, and I mean, to me, that's crazy. If you see that things are still looking bad, you still need to further change things. I
Mhm.
mean, that's how it goes. I mean,
Dude,
you could
there's
you
still
could equate
time.
that to everything in life. Like, yeah, and they still have to. I don't know what they're gonna do though, because they're not gonna make a change prior to the major, and at that point, I mean, we already know Boston's not gonna make it to champs. It's just
Mhm.
not gonna happen. So where are they at? Are they gonna just say, "Bah, screw it. We're not gonna go do a roster change," which to me, that's even worse because now I'm like, "All right, you know that you're not making champs, but you just gave up."
Mhm.
Now you've just completely given up as an org. Like, come on, you're in a professional league here. In my opinion, if you're there, you should try to be competing up until the last breath,
Mhm.
and trying to get better, or at least set yourself up for next year, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, and, like, that's the hard part, right? Like, we knew of the coaching staff, like, when they first came into the CDL, and
Yeah.
it's shifted. I believe Shawnee's, like, the coach now, and not the coach, the GM, and it's it's different. We don't know, like, the inner works, like, what they can do. I can only imagine that they don't really have the funds to, obviously get the guys that they want, but they had Snoopy. It's not too late. They can still knock on the door and bring Snoopy back, you know? But man, if I was Snoopy and that happened, like, all right, you got to pay me more because I was the guy, obviously. And he was. And they need to pull an LA Thieves like back in the day in Cold War.
Yeah.
Realistically, like
Yeah.
what they should do, if I was them at this point, right? They know they're not making champs. Let Nasty go. Sell him for something, like something big, just to recoup those funds, get rid of everyone else besides Snoop. Like, and then find another three. That's what I would do in that situation. Let Nasty go. You know he's a great player, but it's just not working, and you need a reset. Find three players. If they don't work, give it like 2 weeks, or honestly, even scrims. If it doesn't look good in scrims, get them out. Just keep
Yeah.
rotating.
No, I agree. I think if you are in such a dire situation where they are right now, the only way you could go is up.
Mm,
You already know that this team is broken and you're not really going to get much more out of them because they're mentally compromised and also just the chemistry does not work as a team.
mm,
Um, you should take advantage of these people that are in challengers and just try to get some semblance of a duo or trio to your point. Um, that can work and maybe get you guys on the right track. But the fact that they're just sitting and letting this happen and every other team that rolls by them dog walks them. I mean, they're basically turning into Cloud9 where
mm.
they're kind of a joke team that no one really wants to watch. And I I watched that Gentlemates match, and yeah, it's bad that I when they went up 2-0, I was just really tweaking still. I was like,
Yeah.
"I don't know
That's
about
not
this."
yeah.
I was like, "Dude, I mean, you got that's a star team on the other side here. Like, these
Yeah.
guys might wake up." And then when they won that map, when they won the hard point again, I was like, "Oh, it's over." Or the
Yeah.
overload, sorry. I was like, "Oh, yeah, no chance. Like, these guys are gonna bring it back for sure." They won 1, now they're starting to sit up a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say too on the weekend, like, yeah, there's clearly, if you learned anything from the weekend, that divide from the top teams to the bottom teams is growing bigger and bigger. And it also once again shows that no one knows how to predict online Call of Duty. Teams that beat teams that shouldn't beat them, and then teams that shouldn't lose to X team, it happens to them. I mean, we had that. I'm talking about the Miami game. Miami
Miami,
goes
yeah.
and beats they beat FaZe. They just won Major 2. Everyone's like, no way. Then Miami goes and plays. What was it? What's their name? I always forget.
G2.
Gentleman. Yeah, G2. Yeah, go and play G2. This should be an easy walkthrough for Miami. G2 shits on them. It just,
Yeah.
it
It's
makes no sense.
that just shows like the play styles and the team, like how well you match up against a team. You know,
Mhm.
Miami, like if you look at the history between Miami and FaZe, for whatever reason, that org and those players match up so well against FaZe. And that's the same thing with G2. Like those guys, for whatever reason, they just know how to counter Miami.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I don't even we don't even need to spend a lot of time with like optics just look great. The top teams look great, you know. Boston's like in the category of dog shit right now. I dude, when they went up 2-0, I'm like looking they show the player cams like they're smiling, but they're not like they're not having fun. They're
Yeah.
stressed still.
Mhm.
They lost the first the overload. They show the cameras, they're not even looking at each other. I'm like, "Oh, dude, they hate each other."
Yeah.
Like there's no chemistry. They're not having fun. This is a job to them at this point, and they're at the point of the job where they don't give a fuck and they want to quit.
Yeah. No, they're for sure at that point. And yeah, I remember seeing that too. It's just compared to all the other teams where,
Thieves,
they're
the
joking
chemistry.
around or laughing, yeah, you get fucking scrap with like the hat on,
Yeah,
and they're all probably joking about it beforehand, being like, dude, I'm gonna wear this, and people are gonna be joking about it, whatever. Like you just know that none of that's going on in Boston. They all know
yeah,
it's over. They know they're not making champs and they're really playing for nothing, which I mean, it's depressing. So
yeah.
you
I
don't
mean,
wanna be
yeah, it
around
is.
that. I don't blame him.
Yeah, but it's like I feel bad for Nasty. He saw all of his boys win.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
of them won, and
Yeah.
he can't even make it into champs anymore. And it's like I don't know, but you can't just roll over and die. You know what I mean? Like that's what they're doing right now. You let Snoopy walk. How? How do you let that guy walk? And I'm not gonna go on too longer, but the players, like you said, are all individually good. It's just this team. Afro came from P7. Now Afro's like whatever on this team. Snoopy went over and joined P7. Now he's frying there. You know,
Yeah.
it's the players. And yeah, if people want to take away anything, it's how the players like interact with each other and like team chemistry really does matter. I mean, that camp's compromised. C9's camp is compromised. Uh Surge's camp is like almost compromised for whatever reason. They're like up and then they're down again. But
Yeah.
I feel like that squad they joke around enough to where they have fun, but you know, a lot of teams are compromised right now. It's just over.
Yeah, and it definitely hurts the viewing experience when going into Major 2, or just, going through all these qualifiers, I should say. Major 2, it'll be a little bit, or Major 3, sorry. It'll be better because going into it, we know that these teams are gonna get bounced out really quick, and then we can just get to the good matches that
Mhm.
we really care for, which was so nice about watching the minor tournament. Um, but when you have these days where, I think it was Friday's matches, just looking at them like,
It was bad.
Yeah. You're just like, these are 2 teams that suck, that are not gonna be making it to champs, that don't give a damn about anything,
Yeah.
and you're just thinking, "Why are you even watching this?" You know?
Mm,
What is the real purpose of watching this? Or even when you see something like we saw Optic Boston, I was just like, "I don't need to watch that.
mhm.
I know what's gonna happen. I know Optic's gonna beat them, and if Boston beats them, it's like a Fugaze win. It's not
Mhm.
really, you know what I mean? It's not all of a sudden we're gonna be on here being like, "Maybe Boston, dude, they might be top." Like, it's
Yeah.
not gonna happen, you know?
Yeah.
It's the gap, like I said, the gap is very evident, but it sucks. You have teams that are just kind of a waste, and I hate having Boston in that conversation, but
Yeah. Ma
they're doing it to themselves.
Major 2 killed it, dude. The having 2 teams not qualifying essentially ended those teams, their
Yeah,
path to champs.
yeah,
They lost out on so many points, and now it's just impossible.
yeah.
So,
No, absolutely.
I mean, yeah. Well, next week matches are, I mean, they're better than this weekend compared to what we just saw. But
Thank God.
yeah, and then we got Major 3, I believe, like the week after you guys listen to this. So that'll be in Atlanta in a another Dream Hack, which that'll be sick.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good event.
And it'll be just be good to see land COD again. And that makes it enjoyable. And then who knows? Maybe some of these teams won't be wasting our time.
Yeah, or we hope Boston shows some life and, score some big points here. I mean, I
Let's
don't
show
know,
some
but
fight, man.
I
Like,
know. I wanna see
well,
something.
where's the dog in you?
I know,
Or
Mike.
at least give me the P7 versus Boston match. Snoopy's gonna fucking fry us. And you know what? Good for him, because I said this a while ago, and Snoopy probably needed this, to be
Yeah,
honest. And then
yeah.
Boston better go back and cry and try to get him back and then squad wipe the team. I swear to God, just get Snoopy, squad wipe.
I think that's the right move. They gotta do something drastic.
Yeah,
Think
yeah.
things need to change,
They need to change. Yeah.
no doubt.
Um, but yeah, I think we covered majority of what we want to talk about.
Yeah, I think that's
Uh,
it.
I know the episode. The Flank was saying this. They've been very negative lately, like the past month and a half. We also have
Everybody
been.
is.
COD's just it's like up and down, and it's been tough. But we'll change that around. We'll come up with different topics and
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
not
yeah.
stop being so negative about things. But it's hard. Boston fans, Boston sport fans, were down bad. The
I saw the
Patriots lost the
Celtics
Super
lost.
Bowl. The Celtics, they were up 3-1 in the series. They fucking choked. They lost 3 in a row. 3
Yeah,
fucking games in a row. And they lost at home.
yeah. The only reason I know what you're talking about is because when I'm at the gym on the treadmill, they're
Oh, yeah.
playing all the time.
Yeah.
I see the Celtics coach, I don't even know his name, but see that guy just like
Mazzulla. Oh, yeah. That
yeah,
dude,
just like,
yeah. I
yeah,
like
yeah,
him. They got to get him
yeah,
out.
just can't, just
Yeah. They, this is the equivalent of getting reverse sweep. They lost that overload and they fucked it.
yeah, yeah.
That's what
No,
happened.
yeah, when I saw they
And
lost playoffs, I'm
yeah.
like, "Oh, bro, they're gonna be
Yeah.
calling for this guy's
Seed
head."
wise, dude, this is like Thieves losing to G2 and getting eliminated. That's what it is.
Damn.
It's bad. Yeah.
Yeah, not
uh
good.
Bruins, they lost 2 out of the playoffs. Red Sox fired their entire coaching staff. Legit. So
It's like,
they
"Bro, we're
got
down bad,
they
bro, we
got
need
squad
Breach to
wiped.
lift us up.
I know,
For
yeah.
the love of God, Breach, give us something."
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, guys, if you're on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe over there. Let us know down below how you're feeling about COD, if you're like as
Yes.
down bad as
Let us
us,
know.
or if you just honestly stop playing for a bit, because I'm sure a lot of
Right.
people do that.
Mhm.
But yeah, if you're also check us out on anchor.fm/COD Casuals, where we're on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that stuff. We also chop up the episodes and put them into shorts on Instagram and TikTok. So if you don't want to listen to the whole thing, definitely go over there and check it out. And 5-star rating on Spotify, Apple, all that stuff, because it does help us out a ton. And join the Discord. Haven't shouted that out yet, but go join the Discord so we can talk about COD and hopefully rumors that come out and any other games that we talked about, because I think Mike and I talked about more games unrelated to COD over the weekend than COD actually. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Make sure to go there, and I'll leave a link down below.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's it.
That's it, bro.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone. This has been episode 273 of the COD Casuals. We're your host, Justin.
And I'm Mike.
We'll see you guys next week.
Take it easy, everybody.
See ya.